Hello and welcome to chapter 22 of Bookish Babes After Dark. Today we are, I don't know if you can see that, today we are going to be talking about Hollow Hellion by Jodie King. Oh, yours is a bit better, I think. This book. So, triggers. Now, you may want to go and get a cup of tea, a snack. You may want to go to the toilet because this is long.
She
buckle yourself in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, she went in. So, we've got horror, stalking, obsessive behaviour, C&C, mask/face painted, degradation, humiliation, erotic asphyxiation, voyeurism, somnophilia, sadism, masochism, object insertion, impact play, manipulation, knife play, blood play, chain play, cum play, spit play, primer play, anal play. That sounded like I was rapping.
Get it.
Kidnapping, self-harming, mental abuse, murder, death, gore, torture, brutality, mutilation, organised crime, mental disorder, hallucinations, trauma, drugging, alcohol use, foul language, emotional scenes, very explicit scenes, mentions of necro, off-page non-canon flashbacks, and mentions of child abuse. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Hollow Hellion.
Oh.
So, it's a blurb. As the old saying goes, run away to the circus. And it seems like exactly what I have done. Except this isn't just any circus, it's Oddity Carnival and Cirque. Reputed to be the most horrifying spectacle in the States, it turns out I wasn't just running away from terror, I was unwittingly walking straight back into its chilling embrace. Attempting to adjust to my new life of madness, I found myself plunged into a waking nightmare. Hellion, the ringleader of the Hollows. With eyes like swirling vortexes and tattoos that seem to writhe and pulse across his skin, he ensnares me in his twisted web, his sinister obsession fixating on his broken dolly. Hellion seeks to shatter me, to break me down through pain and suffering for his own sick pleasure. But what he fails to realise is that pain is not foreign to me, it's my home. As he delves deeper into his depraved games, he will come to understand that I am not so easily broken. I am a mosaic of splintered fragments and intricate puzzle pieces, a complex enigma that even Hellion, with all of his distorted needs, may struggle to grasp or comprehend. Once a sadist's cravings collide with a masochist's submissive desires, the world around us dissolves into a mist of forbidden darkness and insatiable bliss, where boundaries blur and inhibitions fade into oblivion. As evil as this carnival may be, where illusions intertwine with shadows, the essence of who we are remains incomparable, defying the delirium that surrounds us. But beneath our facade of face paints and behind our veils of secrecy lie haunting truths that have the power to reshape the very fabric of our deranged reality. That is a blurb.
Oof.
That is a blurb.
Oh.
Yeah. So I feel like with this one, I want to go into slightly more depth with it and like explain the plot and stuff. So should we say like spoilers? And we still recommend you read it because even if you know kind of what's going to happen, it's still an excellent book.
Yeah, there's no way we could explain the whole
No. But again, so before we start, I'd say that we were all very, very lucky to say that we all got to read the ARC for this book. So we all got to read the advanced reader's copy. Oh, holy hell.
Oh. What a book.
What a book.
That's all I've got to say.
What did I rate it?
It better be a 5-star.
Mine was a 5. All the stars. All of the stars.
5s everywhere. 5s across the board.
Date red. Is that the one I want? The one that I want. The one I want. Ooh, honey.
You can keep that in if you like.
That's going to be a bloop. Oh.
It's fine. You can keep that in as a bloop. I read it 4 stars.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, so my review was... Good. If I do say so myself. I didn't say why I put 4, but I know why I didn't put 4. It's the same reason that I've given for Crawl.
Right.
Being that as much as I really enjoyed it, it just didn't like me like it did for you two.
There was just something. And that's
Yeah.
fine.
There was just something a little missing. Do you know what it is? I feel like the first 2/3 of the book is quite slow.
Yeah, it is a bit of a build-up.
But once it's
Like-
built up,
It's good.
it
It's
like
excellent.
sucker punches you.
That bit is 5 stars.
Yeah.
But for me, like when I compare it to, again, I'm just constantly comparing things to That Sick Love, but it's the one that really sticks in my brain all the time, is that the drama within that book is literally from like
Start
the start to the end.
Mm-hmm. I think this one, you're not like thrown in at the deep end with it until like the end. So it is one of them that you have to trudge through it to understand how she got there, why she was there, who's connected to who.
Yeah.
At first, it's like a quick porno, and then the end is like a bit of a backstory to it.
She skipped through to the good bit
Yeah.
and then was like, you know what, I should probably figure out who these people are, so I'm going to rewind it.
Yeah. So
I'll
watch
watch the plotty bit for afterwards.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then we'll just put bits in between then.
Yeah.
The thing for me, like, I love a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys, I love a slow burn. And I feel like a slow burn has to be done well.
Yeah. I'm very picky with slow burn.
Same.
I feel like in this book, the slow burn doesn't relate to the romance, it relates to the plot.
Yeah, because
I'm not a fan of the slow burn plot.
Between them both, it's there from the get-go. As soon as they meet each other, he's like, I am having a bit of that. The plot's just in the background just going, hey, it's me. Plot's here. Wait a minute.
But George,
Right.
what did you rate it?
Let's get to it. 5s across the board.
Do you know what I really want? I want us to get like the things with all the numbers on with the stars, so we can be like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Can we actually do that? That'd be excellent.
If we buy like ping pong paddles, I can probably just make them.
Bing, bing. Genius.
And we're probably not going to ever put something on the pod that's any less than a 3. Oh no, actually sometimes we do with the unhinged ones, don't we?
Yeah, but we did with
that's incoming for the future. But just imagine George's got a 5 paddle. All the 5s.
Yeah, 5 stars all round.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. With it. Sorry.
Completely agree. 5 stars. Absolutely loved it.
Yes. It was amazing.
Completely ate up. Had a great time.
Yes. So the book starts with, why can't I remember her name? What's her name?
Noir.
Noir, that's it. Noir.
Or is it?
So we start.
I never remember names.
Do you know what though? I can obviously remember Hellion and I can remember Eli, but for some reason, and Eli's less of a character, but why can't I remember Noir?
Because Eli's a knob, that's why.
Eli is a knob. So, you've got Noir. And she is like what
She's
would you
like sharing, housing, sleeping.
Yeah, with Eli.
Yes.
You find out that Noir used to be so basically her mum died when she was younger and her stepdad basically
Took her in.
She was dead as well and just abused her to the max.
Yeah.
And so she escaped and then she met Eli when she was really in a shit place.
Yeah.
And he kind of saved her.
Yeah.
As such.
Mm-hmm.
And then They are at a gas station or something, I think.
Yeah. You sort of see this flag on there, and they're like, oh, that'd be like an ideal job to have, you know, and Eli's a bit like, I don't want to do that.
No, but it's one of those. It's the fact that Eli's the one's like, oh, you can dance. We should go. We can go work there. I'm sure they'll figure out something for me to do.
Yeah.
And Noir's like,
not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure how I feel.
But then Eli goes on to complain about her getting a job there.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. Can we
Make sense.
Before we fully go into the plot, can we talk about the dedication of this book?
Give it to us. Because I love this dedication.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something that we need to talk about. Because you've read the trigger warnings. Mm-hmm. You've read the playlist. And the playlist is chef's kiss. There's some absolute bangers in that playlist.
I need to listen to it.
There's a lot of Diggy Graves.
Love the good book playlist.
I can't listen to it while I'm reading.
No, I use the playlist for Instagram posts.
Same. Yes. But it's the fact that like she's got some absolutely banging artists on there, especially if you're a little bit spooky, a little bit alternative. There's like, so you've got Diggy Graves on there, you've got Sleep Token, you've got Bring Me the Horizon, you've got Bad Omens as well. So it's already like,
it's excellent.
It's great.
It's already for the spooky babes.
And then you go on to the next page. And the dedication is just, ever wondered what it was like to be fucked by a clown? And no, I'm not talking about your ex. Welcome to Oddity, Carnival and Cirque. This twisted tale is for you. Leave your morals at the gate, because if you don't, hell will strip them from you and make you take it like a good little dolly.
Sorry, that's really killed me off.
Yeah, just like the dedication, it's just beautiful.
It's all right.
You ever wanted to sleep with a clown? And no, I don't mean your ex.
It's like as soon as I got into the book, I'd like highlighted that, and my note was just, "Oh holy shit, here we go."
It's my seatbelt.
That's amazing.
I am locked in. I am ready to go. Like,
trying to stop. So we've got the dedication, we've got the playlist, all of the fantastic shit. We've got the background from Eli and thingy, and they've gone to this carnival for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They turn up. She's like, I can dance.
Well, she does aerial hoop.
Yeah.
Which I have done aerial hoop before.
Solid.
That shit hurts. And she does
as well, doesn't she?
Yeah, like she does silks as well.
Yeah, that's it.
And again, that shit hurts.
Burns your skin, I imagine.
But it's not only the burn of it, it's the strength and the mental capacity of being able to wrap that piece of fabric around you in a certain way. Because if you don't, you are falling to your death. And like, I've done pole, did pole for about 5 years. Much prefer that over hoops and silks.
I'm not too far off the ground.
Well,
yeah, I like that.
I was like 8 foot off the ground, but
still dry.
But
it's
I feel like I'm more likely to survive though. Yeah,
it's secure. It's not gonna swing me in another direction.
Yes,
it's bolted in.
On TikTok, there's those crazy videos from like the Cirque du Soleil and stuff, where they literally swing from one end to the other, and like they flip off it, and then another one's swinging in, and then they catch them. Like they're that high up in the air that they have to have a net underneath them during practice, and I'm like,
but they don't have a net here.
No, there is zero nettage around. You know.
So yeah, this is not just any carnival. It's a fucked up carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there's a group of freaky people at the carnival, and freaky in many ways. And so Madame is like, yeah, cool, you can dance, so you can join us. And then they walk into like a bit of a roll. And then it's the first night where they go for like a bonfire.
Yeah. She like can't sleep. So she
Eli's like, you know.
What's the name of the girl that she meets up with? It's like Blossom or
flower,
Blush. She's called Blush. I know it was like Blush or Bubbles or something that sounded like a Powerpuff Girl.
Literally about to say the same thing.
Because she's like, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
And then
automatically become besties.
Oh yeah.
She goes on like a hot girl walk.
Oh yeah, they are hot girl walking straight into the woods.
Mm-hmm. This little campfire, don't they? And then all of a sudden, these
motorbikes. All of a sudden,
these two dudes turn up, and Noir is obviously like, "Oh my god, who is this?" And Blush is like, "Don't make eye contact."
She's doing that thing that like, so you'd go on like a girls' night out. So you're out with girls, single, living your best life. You see something that you know is going to you see a guy that you know is going to destroy your life, and your mates go, "Hang on a minute," and you're like, "Yeah,
bring it back in, sunshine."
And you can just see it in the fact that she's like, "Yeah, but I can fix him," and you're like, "No, you can't."
I can.
She's like all starry-eyed looking at him.
Stop trying to fix men, because all it does is fuck us up.
Yeah.
And us being a generic term for women. Why?
I feel like no one's too far gone at this point.
Yeah.
Like she can't be fixed, he can't be fixed. Put them together, they're all fixed.
Put them together.
On the flip side,
great.
Hellion feels the same way about her.
Oh yeah. He's hearts in his eyes that are swirling along with his contacts.
She toddles off back to her little caravan.
Yeah.
She gets in the shower. Eli comes over and is trying to stick it to her, and then he's just like
he's like a wet cucumber.
Meanwhile, a cucumber's got too much.
I know, but when they start going off, they go a bit.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay. I was going to say a cucumber just sounds like a lubricated cucumber.
No, you know, like if you'd microwaved it.
If it's mouldy.
Or it's been left at bottom of your fridge for too long.
Yeah.
And then you find it and it just goes, it's like a literal limp dick.
So that's Eli. And meanwhile, Hollow Hellion is stood outside.
Doing a little peeping Tom. Sees this whole thing and he's like absolutely raging. You know, he's like, why the fuck is Eli trying to get his kicks with Noir?
Oh, damn, she's done my knuckles like this.
You know.
My stalking.
You know, he's like, ooh, see titties. You know, and Noir's just all for it though. Like she bins Eli off. She's like, nah, that's not happening for me. Carries on showering, foaming the titties.
Well,
hell's outside, like, poor, stunning.
And I feel like us, because that happens like a couple of times, doesn't it? Like that becomes like a regular thing where she knows that he's outside and she just kind of like is comforted by it.
Yeah, it sort of becomes her like safety blanket, because I think she's like trying to sleep in like the living room of this trailer that she's living in, and she's like, he's not outside, I can't sleep.
Yeah,
he's not there watching me have a nap.
Through that, she kind of like starts to realise that she likes him.
It's like a moth to a flame. You know, she knows he's no good for him. He knows that she's no good for her, and it's like, but the tension.
It's one of those. It's how could you not fall? As bad as it sounds, how could you not fall for him? Him and Soul and Wrath. They do two of the hottest acts that you could ever do in a carnival. They do the motorcycle like dome thing
in the
where
dome.
they're like going round.
You've all seen the video of the girl stood in the middle,
and he's like going, yeah. But then
that just baffles my brain.
They also do the thing called the Wheel of Death, which if you haven't seen it, it's like the 2 circles and it goes round like this.
Yeah.
And they're like inside of it.
At the same time.
Yeah. So the guys are like inside of it and like on top of it and it's moving and it's like one of the I don't know what it is, but I've been to the circus like 3 times. Every time I've seen it I'm like, whoa.
Nice.
Risky, isn't it? They're like the most risky acts.
Yeah, but it's hot as well.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, through this attraction that they both have to each other, she's also starting to get bad vibes about Eli.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I felt skeptical about Eli right from the beginning. There was something about him that, like, he almost screamed like jealousy because she was getting somewhere with her life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, he clearly doesn't like Hell. You know, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he wants to keep her for himself, but knows that nothing will ever come from it.
Because it's very clear from the start that they're just friends. Like, they're not together. They're just friends with benefits.
Yeah.
So...
But he almost wants to keep her caged. Yeah.
Like, I think when they start to, you know, dress her up and things like that, and she starts wearing these contact lenses and she's putting these, you know, little skimpy suits on and all this, and he's just like, what the fuck have you become? And Noir's just like, bitch, hold my earrings, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Then it kind of comes to a head. Sorry, I've got such an itchy nose today. It kind of comes to a head when she's, I think her and Blush are just like walking around the carnival, aren't they? Because like they're not on. And she sees this girl talking to Eli, but she knows that she's like
underage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it got
weird vibes just.
It got to that point because me and Jord Buddy read this, and the reactions in our chat were just absolutely hilarious. But both of us said when we got to that point, I was like, he's just giving nonce. It's like, it's so sketchy.
The word nonce.
Like, it was so sketchy with what he was doing.
You had like the tingly feeling.
He gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
The radar was just going...
He just seemed slimy. And I was like...
And Noir got so angry about it, and you just think you don't overreact like that unless you have this gut feeling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they kind of like drifted apart even more so.
Yeah, there was a huge sort of like gap between them. You know, he was sort of doing his thing, she was sort of doing hers, and then obviously they both like fall asleep together, and Hell comes out of her wardrobe.
Well, was that the one? He doesn't fall asleep though, does he? Unless that's a separate one. Is there 2? Because
I think there's 2 instances where he just like arrives out of nowhere. But I think so the first instance is obviously Eli has a previous drug addiction.
That's what I was going to say. Was it?
Yeah, so then gets one of his little buddies to slip him a little something, you know, and then obviously Eli just like completely passes out, and fucking Hell's just like, tonight, Michael, I'm fisting you.
Yeah. And the thing that was like mad about that is like the actual scene itself is crazy, but then it's like after when it's like the day after, and Eli comes back round again. And then, like, Hell's just casually walked off. And She's just woke up, carried on about her daily life, and then turned around and then Eli's like, "What's all that blood on the bed?" And she's like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "How did no one fucking notice that?"
How would nobody see that after he's just turned you into a fucking glove puppet? Shit.
And say, because when she's like getting dressed up to go into the circus for her first performance, she's like properly dolled up and everything. And it was something about giving her contacts. And Hell says she's not wearing fucking contacts. Her eyes are staying a pretty blue.
Oh.
And he's like obsessed with her. And because he said it was like, keep yourself as you are. You're fucking perfect, and you don't need all the extra bullshit. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. You do not need to be this nice.
Who said you could be so nice?
Because he doesn't only just call her little doll, he calls her pretty girl.
Yeah, I've literally just read that.
And
so I've got.
Is it the also call me Hell pretty girl?
Yeah, pretty girl, because you haven't met Hellion yet, but believe me, you will soon. He adds his voice lacing with chilling promise. And when that moment comes, the only time you'll be uttering his fucking name is when you're screaming it.
My notes, because I had those as two separate highlights. It's just like, fuck me, puddle times 2, and then the other note is just, I'm still a puddle.
I no longer exist. There was just a wet patch where I used to be.
Oh God! He's so cocky about it, and he's so sassy, and I'm just like, oh.
Because I feel I highlighted quite a lot in this chapter. One of them is, fuck me, I love it when you talk murder to me. My note on that one was, someone grab the matching grippy socks, we're getting sectioned together. and then I've got, my dolly will be nothing but stiff fucking corpse whilst I try to screw the life back into her. And my note is just, somebody sedate me.
I put one was, how about I just cut you from ear to ear and fuck your dead cunt instead? And I just put a note saying, what happened to hello? How are you? Excuse me. Necro's just arrived.
I will say, if you want to figure out more of our reactions in depth, they are all live on Instagram and on, I don't think they're on TikTok because I got a warning for one of them. But
oh God.
But after he's like made her a puppet.
Oh, I know.
See, is this because my chapters? I don't have chapters and page numbers. Sorry, I think I've got hay fever for the first time in my life. By the way, my nose is on fire. I don't have pages or chapters on mine. I've only got location, so I'm struggling to find out. I'm like where I am in the book, but I'm a bit. Pardon?
Just chuck a quote out.
Yeah, I'll probably find. I've probably got it highlighted in the 115 highlights that I have from this book.
So I think this is the first time that they potentially sleep together, or at least it's the first time that he's got naked, basically. So a ladder of gleaming metal studs runs up the underside and top of his shaft, each one catching the light in a way that makes my breath hitch. He begins to stroke himself slowly, the skin pulling back to reveal 2 silver balls that go straight through the tip. It's like,
oh, wow.
They glisten with a mix of pre-cum, and I can't help but feel my mouth water involuntarily. This man is not only gifted in length and girth, but clearly blessed by Satan, but he decided to weaponize the snake as well. The sheer fucking audacity is shocking. He goes, part those plump lips for me, Dolly, he orders, his tone carrying hunger. Let me skull fuck you before I force them open and do it anyway.
So,
say no.
That's the bit where he's chased her through the woods, and she's like, she's
throws
starkers.
The knife at the tree.
Yeah, so she gives him the like Gluck 3000 going at it.
Absolutely.
And then he's like, what ha? You see that knife? Park yourself
Sit
on
on
it,
it.
Sweet Treeks. Like, reverse yourself back onto it and ride that goddamn handle.
So, Wraith is the one that's got split tongue.
No, that's Soul.
So that's Soul.
Soul.
Right.
So, you've got...
Can we just talk about that scene?
Yes.
You know which scene I'm on about.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let me just...
I'm not sure if I highlighted anything for it.
I think I did.
I'll just go back to my notes.
Yeah.
It's basically, so by this point, Eli's left and fucked off. We don't know where he's gone, we just know that he's disappeared. So she now lives in the trailer with Hellion.
Oh yeah, he texts her back to his doesn't he? And he's like, you ain't sleeping there anymore.
No. And then there's a part in the book where for some reason, because obviously there's the secret society type situation, I can't remember what they're called, but they're all part of this club, aren't they? And
yeah, they're all like signed. They basically signed their life away to it, and they're obviously given,
isn't he?
What's it called? They're all given names to essentially get rid of.
Yeah.
And obviously, when they're at this circus, they have certain nights that bring in these proper high society people, and it goes full
Dark
sword
Night.
trap. Yeah, and they basically just do a full ass fucking culling, don't they?
So Dark Night is basically the carnival meets Purge.
Yeah, anything is legal at this point.
The collab we didn't know we needed.
Mm.
I don't know. It's after. Is it? I think it's before the first Purge, isn't it?
It's before Dark Night.
Because she sort of getting lost in this, obviously, where they run the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
And obviously he chases the life out of her. But I thought she was a bit delulu at first because she obviously has this sister who helped her escape in the beginning. And obviously she's convinced that she either didn't make it out with her or she's just ended up God knows where. And all the way through, she's sort of seeing apparitions of her. And I was like, I can't tell if we've gone to a paranormal side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's just having a full-on mentee bee.
Because that wasn't real, what she saw.
No, when you find out at the end, you're like, oh.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's after that, so after Hellion saved her, he gets called out on a mission, if you will.
Yeah, he goes on a little excursion.
Yeah, and so Madame,
it's his nephew or his cousin, isn't it, that...
Yeah, so...
that being murdered.
Madame's the show must go on, therefore, Noir, you are going to be the Hollows girl, and you're going to perform with Soul.
Yes.
Hellion comes back before the performance starts.
Just in time to see Soul eating her face.
Madame's like, oh, you need to do the kissing part at the end. And Noir's like, whoa, I can't do that.
And she's like, I'm your boss.
Yeah, not going to be happy. And Madame's like, well, I'm paying your bills. So let's get to smooching. Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that Soul's in the background being cheeky and he winks at her and shit. Doesn't he say something like, I don't buy, I suck, or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. Obviously, they do the performance on stage, and Hell's
he just walks in.
You come with me.
Yeah.
And basically says he takes them to his dungeon lair type thing underneath the field.
He takes them to the Hollows trailer because he bangs her on the table and makes Soul watch fills her up.
Not only does he bang her, he inserts one of these and inserts his little doo-doo as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, well, if you wanted to touch me, lady friend, here you go. Here's my leftovers.
You've got to suck my cum out of her. And
this is Soul's tongue.
Soul has a split tongue, but he's also got a piercing on each side. So you already know that's gonna be delicious. But that's it. I don't know why it was so hot.
It was incredibly, and I don't know why, but
it made me feel things that I should not feel whilst reading a book.
No,
but he was so degrading to her because obviously, like he's like, you can't enjoy this.
Mm.
And then he turns around to her and he's like, was that a fucking moan I heard from my brother licking your... Yes, I did. And I'm not even sorry.
I am very, very, very excited because so we found out that Soul and Wraith are getting their own books.
Oh, yeah.
Because like even when I think I was like halfway through it and it got to that scene, and I remember messaging Jord in our little like whilst we're like typing away through our reactions, I was like, if these boys don't get their own books, I am personally gonna find Miss King where she lives and be like, excuse me, Miss Ma'am.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here's a pen. Here's a notepad.
Get to writing. I will personally be there and I will read all of it and have the best of times.
I'm ready. But then obviously that happens, and then we have Dark Knight.
Oh.
Good luck.
It was when they were again House of fucking Mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's creepy. That.
Oh no, I love that bit.
No, it's in like it's good, but the idea of a House of Mirrors creeps me the fuck out. Like if I was in one, I'd be in the corner like, no.
Oh, we have some exciting things coming when you get to that scene in Buddy Reed.
Oh really?
Delicious. It is delicious. But even then, the House of Mirrors scene in this book is also just absolutely delicious. But because it's Dark Knight, and she's not exactly meant to be out. She's not meant to be part of this Dark Knight. But she goes and gets herself dressed up and puts on a little contacts and a little clown outfit and goes and sits and watch anyway.
She's swinging her legs, she's like, woo, I'm having the best time.
And then suddenly, they all come out with like fucking chainsaws and weapons and shit.
Have these weapons. Fight.
It's the fact that it's just like, fucking run, bitch. Run. And she's like figured it out by this point. And she's like, shit. I'm off skis.
It's just, I don't know.
And
the
Hell
final play is exquisite.
It's the fact that like Hell's not even bothered about all these other people around. He is like, you.
Mm.
So he hops on his bike.
I'll be having.
Hops on his motorbike. Chases after her. She runs into this House of Mirrors. And he's like, babes, you can't get out of this shit. I designed it.
Mm.
I know my way around this place like back of my fucking hand. And then
he's got the map of
like, shit starts moving and there's like blood gushing everywhere. And then suddenly
glass shit that's flying about all over the place.
It's one of those, it's like there's blood gushing and then suddenly he slips and falls inside her.
That's it. He slipped on the blood, dick first.
Whoops.
Here you go.
To protect it.
He's just
he dives straight in.
He dives in dick first.
But then he pushes her back. Because then suddenly there's like glass. There's like a big glass pillar that like falls. And he's like there, like at the. So have you seen the video? I think it's from one of the Fright Nights in America. And there's a guy there with a mask on, shirtless, obviously, covered in blood.
Of course.
And he's there like at the window with his hand on, and he's like slowly streaking down. I'll find it and send it to you later. It's hot. That's what he was doing. That's what I was envisioning. And I was like...
Everything about it, every single page.
It's like, he's got this aura about him where it's literally like so nonchalant about things. Like, even when he pushes her back and stuff, but he does it at like the last minute.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's so nonchalant about it.
Teetering her on the edge of
everything. Like, I don't give a shit about you, but actually, no, I do. Like,
you at the same time, because he notices it's like further on to the end, and he notices that like she sort of self-harms and things like that, and he's like, don't do that, and he's so upset and he's so torn over it, and it's just like his whole character just
doesn't he brand his name on her coochie? He engraves hell on.
He has her on her
thing.
Little spinny.
Because she's on the axe throwing wheel, isn't
yeah. He's already lost a load of knives.
And then suddenly...
He uses her as like a slot machine for juggling pins.
Suddenly there's a juggling pin inside her.
As well.
The amount of things that get inserted into Noir.
The amount of times I messaged you and was like, does her vagina ever shut?
No. Well, Jodie Jodie commented saying that she's got like a magical shrinking vagina. And I giggled when I read that. I was like, that is brilliant.
All I can see is obviously she's had the whole fist up there. She's had a juggling pin up there. He jacked himself off whilst inside her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. I forgot about that bit.
Now is if he turned her upside down and blew on her, she'd be like blowing in an empty glass bottle.
It's just a I forgot about when he like jacked himself off inside her.
He's fist deep. He's got his dick right up to her fucking esophagus, and he's like, "Whoa, I can feel my peen through your really thin walls."
So I'm just gonna give myself a little 1-2, and
1-2. What?
Yeah, I'm mad. Sorry, it's something in my eye there. All going on,
but then it's like
it's continuous, and the plot twist is plotting all over the place.
The plot twist.
I don't think we should say what they are, but they are.
The plot twist is
the only thing that really sort of annoyed me was, when she like poof disappears, and Hell is literally like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah. And me and George were sat with our tinfoil hats on, playing detective, being like, where's she gone? She can't have just gone. What the hell? Yeah. And then suddenly...
What's happened? Now all of a sudden, genie in a lamp, she's turned up.
And I think he's managed to get a new bike.
Yeah. He's got a bike.
The only thing I would say is I think it was a little bit obvious.
Yeah, we'd sort of figured out the twist before the twist was revealed.
Yeah, but I mean about her coming back.
Yeah, I knew she would come back.
Yeah.
Like, she obviously made a worthy sacrifice for the shit that was going on.
But even though I had an inkling as to what was going to happen generally in terms of the twist, I wasn't expecting, I wasn't quite on it, and I wasn't quite expecting everything. So as far as twists go, I still feel like it's really good.
Yeah. All the way through, I was like, is this dude related to this dude? Is she really seeing her sister?
Yeah.
Up here, and I'm like, who is who?
Yeah.
Mm.
The amount of times where sort of like in our reactions it was like, hold on a minute, theory time, and we'd type out our theories. And is it either if they were right or wrong, it'd be like, right, okay, this theory was right, this theory wasn't.
Yeah.
But like,
so we made a book on this theory.
I absolutely love this book. Like, I ate through it, and I'm not gonna lie, Arrow and Hell are currently sat fighting it out at the top to see who's gonna come out.
It was just like the hype for this was done well.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand it when the hype is just, you know, it's all over the place. You read the book and it falls flat.
Yeah.
And
it's the worst thing.
We've read a couple of them.
Yeah, where the hype's been, woo, you know, this is in it, this is in it, this is in it. And then you read it and you're like,
yeah.
You know.
And we just couldn't.
The trigger warnings were there.
Yeah, they were.
And, you know, she didn't throw a lot of teasers out.
No.
It was... all I saw of this was just the trigger warnings, and that's all that sold it for me.
I think that I prefer it that way because there's an air of mystery, and how many of us go into reading a book without ever reading the blurb, without knowing anything about it, and it just makes it so much better.
Yeah, I love a surprise read.
Yeah,
like if you get into it and you're like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. Didn't expect this, you know, that's what I like to see.
Yeah, rather than knowing it all up front and then being like, oh.
Yeah. But I don't mind if like certain quotes are chucked out and, you know, things like that. But there was like the hype for it was
exactly
done so.
Yeah, Mason. It was good, wasn't it?
Correct.
Because like I just like, so it's probably one of the best arcs that I've read. Like,
yeah,
I've read a few now, and that one was just, as soon as I started it, I was like, I can't put this down.
You just knew. Yeah, it's definitely up there.
And it's like, so again, whilst we were buddy reading it was like, oh, okay, we'll just do like four chapters, and then we'd end that 4th chapter and we'd message each other and be like,
I'd see the message coming through being like, should we do a couple more? Should we do another one? I'm like,
okay.
She let it was one of them, it's where you'd come back into the group chat and you're just like, I'm not even going to read these, and it's like, no, you've let your kids loose. Do not.
That's what you do. She leaves us alone. We end up in these situations.
She leaves us unsupervised, and then suddenly there's like 1,000 messages.
Mum goes out and has a life, i.e. stays inside, is on TikTok live most of the time. And she comes back and the kids are just...
you know?
Exactly.
We've set up the house. We've had a house party. There's 3 dudes in one bed. What more do you want?
Exactly. So basically, we were very rudely interrupted by somebody phoning me. So these 2 parts are not cohesive. Apologies. However, we pretty much got to the end of us saying, this is fucking amazing, go and read it.
Like, it's on KU.
It is.
If you've not got KU, get a trial. Go and read it.
It is excellent. Absolutely excellent.
It's just...
And as far as dark romance goes, it is
up there. I would say it's up there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I wouldn't say it's like on the border of dark romance and erotic horror because of how dark some parts of it are.
Yeah.
Just, if you're not down for... It's not really horror-y, because obviously I read it, but just, if you're maybe new to dark romance, maybe pick something else first and work your way up.
Yeah, so a little bit lighter before
a bit nicer.
Before diving into the wonders that is Hellion.
Or you could just go balls deep and go straight on.
Yeah. You could, to be
Join
fair.
us in the loony bin. We have snacks. Yeah. It's great.
It's great over here.
All the snacks. I love it. So yeah, that is Hollow Hellion by Jodie King. Absolutely excellent. If you do read it, let us know your thoughts, because we can't wait to hear what you think about this.
And we will more than happily chat to you about it.
Yeah, and you'll find us on the following platforms.
Yes. If you want to, again, have a natter with us, keep in contact with us, figure out what we're doing, see our little snippy snips, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. We also now have a book club that we've set up, which is over on Fable and Discord. If you want to join the Discord, the links are in our bios. So the bio that you're probably best finding the link for is on Instagram. The link for Fable is also in there. We are doing a buddy read a month. We will be going on live on Tuesdays from around for about 5:30. Going to be on there for a couple of hours, read through a couple of chapters. We're all going to have a great time. So if you'd like to do that, click on the links. We have lots of fun there. Lots of natters.
Come join us. Come join us.
And on that note, we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace out.